Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, race fans, sim fans, RC fans, Racing 393. ASR Formula quite often release updates for their cars. Today, I'm going to take one around the track just to give it a go, see what it's like, see how I feel. We've got a choice of two. So on the screen here, they've got actually they've done a number of cars, but we're talking about the ones for Assetto Corsa. We've got the Jordan 192 version 0.6 and also the Minardi M92 for the 92 season, again version 0.6. Now out of those two cars, I quite like the look, what I can remember, and what this represents is the Jordan, and you can see it there, it's just come up. As you can see, with a lot of these updates, I don't suppose there is a huge difference. I don't play them long enough to really notice it. But looking at this one, I've got the installation notes here. So please delete all the files of any previous versions of this mod. Copy the content inside your AC directory, which I'll use Content Manager. Well, I've used Content Manager. And be sure to install our custom driver inside the content / driver folder. What I tend to do is just update it in Content Manager, which I don't know if that's a right or wrong thing. It seems to work for me. So the version 0.6 update, Gugelmin and Stefano Modena, by the looks of it. So they fixed the showy helmet of Gugelmin. There was a logo sponsor, Philips stereo, which I wasn't on there. I would have known that. And an updated skin pack. Now, as far as I'm aware, that's all they've updated. But the difference with this video is I'm going to take it around a track and I'm going to give it hell. I'm going to really drive it hard to see, one, how well does the car handle and the physics. Does it represent how I think a Formula 1 car from 1992 should be? And we're going to sort of maybe I'm going to change it so that it's on softer compound tyres, or back in these days they would have had qualifying tyres. I'm going to take the fuel load down and take some wing off. So I'm going to do that in the settings with you. I'm not going to compare it to a stock version, but we're going to simulate qualifying, which means going out on a warm-up lap, a flying lap. Then I'll talk to you whilst I'm coming back towards the pits, and then we'll go and look at a replay of the qualifying lap. That's the plan anyway. So I've downloaded this already. It's €4.99, and the skin pack I downloaded and just added it to the sim. So we're going to go into an ASR Formula Jordan 192. It's 1992 season. This is version 0.6, and I think we're going to choose a track which I love and really represents these cars lovely. Is the Adelaide layout, Adelaide Grand Prix in Australia. So let me just sort that out. So as always, we'll have a little close-up view of the graphical in-game. Well, I don't suppose it is. This is not quite in-game. I suppose it's difficult to see because you're in the car, but it kind of represents how the detailing they've done on this car. Now, one of the things I have noticed, it's got a fantastic race number, which is my old race number, 33. Yes, we do like that. Now, look at the car. Fantastic. Look at this. I mean, I've got to say, this is the best era of Formula 1 by a long shot. The best. It represents lightweight, fast, loud racing cars. There's no stupid downforce winglets and bits added on, and it's just raw downforce, simply done, fast, sticky tyres, lightweight, and absolutely kills your ears. Now, don't get me wrong, but the Formula 1 of today, especially 2023, is okay. So I've watched all Formula 1, so I'm a fan of Formula 1. And I enjoy it. But when I look back at some of this in-car cameras of this era, and I've got loads of this on video, so when you watch footage from 92, I mean, you can't see it beyond me there, but I've got videos of the 1992 season. You just can't believe that was actually how it was. We get everything. It kind of moves on. I don't want to go down the route of saying it's crap, but you get sort of drawn along with change, little by little, and you don't realise the fundamental changes over the years until you have a step back. It's like looking at old photos, isn't it? You go back to when you were a kid, and you look at a photo, and you look at sort of the background and where you was, and in some cases you kind of, well, in my case, I can go back and walk around where I used to live when I was like, preschool or coming up to school, and you look at the photos, you think, look at that, and you go back there, which I've done, and you look at the similar layout, and you think, it's changed. It's really weird. I know the photos deteriorate over time, but it's good enough to sort of compare what things were like, and then you see anything like cars and things in the background of photographs is what interests me rather than the actual photograph. That's weird. And you start thinking, wow, look at that. Look at the car that I was stood next to, or look at the car that's parked up. Look at the car my dad had, or my mum, or whatever. Yeah, so it's a bit like this. I'm trying to think. I was never lucky enough to go and watch these in real, in person. So I've only seen them in demonstrations, I think. I can't remember, but when they had these at the NEC, obviously, the motorsport show, and I went like 10, 11 years on the trot there, and they're a lot smaller, they're really small. Like, oh my God, is that a Formula 1 car? I mean, when you look at perhaps a Formula 3 car and a Formula Ford and Formula Renault and what they have back then, Formula 3000. Although the Formula Fords are a lot smaller, there's not a massive amount of difference. They're all little. But I have seen a close-up of a modern F1 car of this hybrid era, and they're like, I don't know, that's like a bus. It just doesn't make sense in my head. And I'm only going by memory. I haven't seen them side by side. So anyway, I'm going off on one. So this car, look at it. Simple yet effective. Who we got? I'm not sure the driver we got. I don't think it has a driver's name on the car. It's to do with the logos, I think. I could be wrong. Very simple, but pretty much kind of looks like what today's cars are, with that kind of the floor that's the bodywork, but the floor does this as well in today's cars. And if you look closely at the detailing here, I mean, it's even I'm looking at it, I think that's incredible. And I think we can zoom in and look at the cockpit. Very simple. Kind of, you got the cockpit housing, which is a bit like today, any F1 car, around your hands, and when you move your hands round, they sort of move round in the same arc that the cockpit is. But that's like today, isn't it? There's no room, and you're kind of like this. I mean, I'd love a cockpit for my sim rig like that. But then again, you're going to be limited to like F1 style games. It'd be a bit weird driving a NASCAR in a little cockpit, wouldn't it? So, But you can see some of the fairing on here. Look, on the front, where they were trying to direct the air around, and then that would have probably, as it came off there, would have sort of met this bit. And they had very advanced aerodynamicists even then, but you know, they still had their wind tunnels. Not all teams did. They would have done like simulations on like a CAD drawing or a program that would have simulated wind, which you can, you know, if you can make the model, then you can transform that over to the larger scale. I mean, it's no different to today, but the technology then was a lot simpler. But the leading teams would have had top-notch gear. So anyway, that's enough of me talking about it. We're going to go and jump in the car now. I'm going to drive around Adelaide. Like I say, we're going to simulate a qualifying session. Now, I do know Adelaide. I have driven these enough to sort of warrant driving them hard. I don't know how this is going to end up. If it ends up in the wall, it ends up in the wall. It doesn't matter unless it's happened straight away. Then I might cut that out. I don't know. Anyway, let's get this sorted out. Okay, so here's the opening screen. I'm pretty sure my big fat head's in the way here. So you're going to have to sort of... I can see the screen, so I'm going to tell you what I've done. So we're under Jordan, as you see. You might not be able to see that because of me. We're at Adelaide. Adelaide's 1988. The skin I've selected says round 1. I can't remember who that is. I can't see them from it. It's really small. I don't know who it is, but round 1 would have been Adelaide. Generally speaking, actually no, it wouldn't have been, would it? I'm thinking of now and then. So Adelaide historically would have been the last round, wouldn't it, or thereabout? So I'll go round 16. So all I've done is picked skins for that driver for round 16, which would have been the last round. It's amazing how things you sort of think they're what you think, and it's wrong. The time I've put on there is roughly the time that they would have perhaps qualified. So I've just gone at 20 past 1. I've done a clear day. The track, because it would have been like rubbered in, it would have been used over the weekend. So I'm going to put it to fast. So with that in mind, I'm guessing it puts rubber down, I think. The temperature, well, I've just done an average. I mean, it might be hotter than that, but I've just done 26 degrees and a very light wind. And I've got tyre... Did they have tyre blankets in 92? I think they did. Did they? I can't remember. Have they always had tyre blankets? I think they came in on the 80s. They must have done. And there's talk of now of them doing away with tyre blankets. I think they should do that. You should go out on the tyres just out the packet. Why not? And they do warm up eventually, but you know, for the sake of the sim, we'll put tyre blankets on, which is something I've not done. I don't think I've ever clicked that. That's probably why the car doesn't handle. Right, it's all set for sort of qualifying session. Let me load the game. So this car looks like they're 6 gears with H shifter. I hope I've actually got that mapped. I might have to change that. 700 brake horse. I mean, for something that weighs like a crisp packet, what would they weigh? 500 kilos? I mean, you put 1,000 brake horse, but double that weight. So like nearly 900. So I've just changed all the settings. I've done the tyre pressures, the wing, and I've dropped the fuel. I hope I've got enough fuel. It only works out the fuel once you've driven the car. So we are in car, in the pits. I'm just making sure everything works. Got a good field of view. It is mapped to my H pattern. I don't think I'm running the tyre hub to keep it as real as I can. So looking at the car initially while we're here, It looks absolutely incredible. So as you go out the pits,
pit exit is clear.
So I do need to change full stream back. So we've got to get this right straight away. I forgot what I'm doing. So you've got to drive it fairly hard. On the opening lap it's quite hard actually. Got to use my clutch. Had a bit of a glitch there, I don't know what happened, but we'll try again. So I've had a few glitches. When I put it into 6th, it crashed the game. I've no idea why. I've just remapped the H pattern. Let's try again.
Looks like you're clear on the pit exit.
Pushing quite hard on the outlap. Warm those tyres up, but they've been in blankets, a bit wide there. Easily done. It's easy to go wide. This is where it crashes.
Your lap time was at 126.88. Sector 3 times okay.
So 126. That was really, really intense. It's really hard unless you've done the sim. I've not been on a Assetto course for a little while, and I've not been on an F1 car for a while, if I'm honest. So it does sound, you know, these cars sound a bit quieter in car. Maybe that's because they're simulating the crash helmet. But it goes to show that, and that's nowhere. I wonder what the time was in real life. Maybe I'll look it up. So a 1992 Jordan around Adelaide. I don't know whether it's exactly the same layout, because this layout's the 88 version. So what I'll probably do is we're going to have a look to see what the real cars are doing after the replay. So the game glitched for some reason when I put it into 6th gear. I've no idea why that is. I've never ever had that before. It's, yeah.
We've got cold tyres, we need to get some heat into them.
Yes, I'm not going that quick, Mr. Chief. I feel perhaps that it could be setting. I kind of agree with that. But it doesn't feel like the car bites. But then again, it might be me. But what I'll do now is I'm going to load the replay up. And we'll have a look at that qualifying lap under a bit of scrutiny from myself. So coming in to start the lap on the hairpin sounds absolutely amazing. It's almost like I'm there in my headphones. I've got to shout. Coming down the main straight now. Start finish line. Into the first chicane. Left, right and left. Over the curbs. And then into this left-hander, Wakefield Road. The first on the heavy braking here into the right-hander, Wakefield corner. I went a bit wide there. And then into a left and then a right. So that's called Flinders Street. Hutt Street. I didn't know the names of these. I'm just using that there. Trying to drive tidy and hard, but it is very, very difficult. Jones Straight. Obviously Alan Jones. A fast right-hander, Brabham Straight. Letting it wind up. Maximum RPM and heavy braking for the hairpin. One of two hairpins. Dequetet Village hairpin. I couldn't even see that. Locked it up there. Lost a few tenths. And coming back down to the final hairpin. Yeah, I could have gone a lot faster on the brakes there. You know, Foster's hairpin obviously there. And that concludes that lap. Right, let's go and have a look at the time. That qualifying lap for me, 1:26.880. Now, I'm not going to say that's a quick lap. I don't even know what a quick lap is around Adelaide. But it will be interesting to go and have a look at some stats. So let me just go and quickly go on the old Googles. And I'll be right back. Okay, so here is Wiki. And you can see immediately of how slow I was. The Jordan. I'm just looking, making sure I haven't missed anything. Stefano Modena. Mauricio Gugelmin. 1:19.7. And he was 4 seconds off the pace. There, but 19. 1 minute 19. And I did a 1:26. Oh my god. I mean, I don't even know if it's the same layout. If that can make a difference. Not that much though. So that's the layout for 92. So the 1992 is the same as what I've got in the game, 1988. So the time that would represent what I did to what the cars were doing, I'm way off. It would be interesting to see with some practice, which I'm pretty sure I would. That's going to have to come down, isn't it? 1:26. And we've got like the Jordan there of 1:17. So 18, 19, 20. Oh, too many. Too many. Right, so that's interesting. I'm rubbish. Or the game's not good. I'd be interested to see whether someone else can get round that track quicker. A lot quicker. I reckon I could. I'm tempted to give it another go. Like balls out go. I might try it, but it won't be. I won't put it in the film if it goes all tits up. I'm going to give it another go. If I'm successful, I'll put it in the video. Incidentally, these are not qualifying tyres, and I'm pretty sure that they had qualifying tyres. These are just soft. I don't think I had an option to put them on qualifying. Let's give it another go.
All clear on pit exit.
Here we go. A second qualifying lap. Let's see if we can get it a bit quicker this time. What am I doing?
lap was at 124.48. Just done a 122.79. Sector 3 time is quick.
So, I did another 2 qualifying laps in concurrent. You wouldn't do that in real life, so I can probably run the car a lot lighter. A 122. That's more representative of perhaps getting closer to what they would have done, but they were doing it in 17 seconds, so 117. So you can see there a 122.7. These cars I don't think come with qualifying tyres. That's got to give you another couple of seconds, maybe. But even then, I'm still nowhere near 117. And I reckon I could get quicker. You might have to adjust things like the braking within the wheel, the pedal, to get it down even further. But I'm pretty sure it is hair raising. I'm pretty sure that you could get that car around there a lot quicker than that. But yeah, anyway, that's my take on ASR's Formula 1 1992 season. I hope you enjoyed that. It's really, really good. I had a few glitches to start with, but yeah, we sorted those out. No, Assetto Corsa has some strange attributes sometimes, but trying these cars around a track that they would have raced at, and then comparing them to what perhaps the real life counterparts did. There's people out there that might go around a lot quicker, and maybe sim racing's not representative of what real life is in respect to times, or maybe it is. Depends who you are. I could go quicker. I reckon if I had a little bit more time in the car there, and maybe, I mean, the qualifying lap was always 1 lap qualifying, so you do need some soft tyres. Maybe we could drop the pressures even more, and run soft pressures on those soft compound tyres, so there's more of the tyre touching the track. Something we could perhaps try. Let me know what you think of that. Do you like what we've done there? I mean, do you find that interesting? Let me know in the comments. But that's enough for now. I appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.